Hello everyone, I'm Jack Colbert, and I directed and animated The Golden Age, which was picked up by Matmos and Thrill Jockey Records to be a music video for their latest track, The Rust Belt, part of Matmos' upcoming album, Metallic Life Review, which releases on June 20th. I'd like to show y'all some behind the scenes, what it was like to develop, shoot, and put together this music video. The origin of this film was always a found object film focused on metal scraps, coins, keys that I found metal detecting. I thought this was a really good fit because metal detecting puts you in a categorization, organizational type of mindset, which is exactly what you are doing with a found object film anyways. So I knew that these two different parts of my life would overlap perfectly for this film. Some of the things I was most often collecting while metal detecting were pull tabs, bottle caps, coins, rings, pendants, keys, belt buckles, bullet casings, and more. This left me tons of more room to focus on the thematic significance of the film, the structure, and composition. Because I was taking an experimental approach to this film, I didn't really have very straightforward or sequential boards. I would mostly draw up ideas I had for shots so I wouldn't forget them, shoot them in the studio, and then figure out where it would land in the final sequence afterwards. This method of structure helped come up with new scenes or scenes that would play off existing ones. For instance, all the coin spilling scenes. I only had 1 or 2 coin stacking sequences boarded, and within the shooting process, I quickly discovered that stacking these large, elaborate structures was really difficult and nearly impossible, so I had to come up with workarounds. I started really enjoying the coins spilling mid-sequence. I thought it was a more impactful and interesting sequence, and it was also much more efficient on my end. This then inspired scenes that don't even have boarded, like the coin spilling multiplane, or the coin stacking out of focus. To hammer this experimental point home, most of the boards I have drawn here didn't make it into the shooting room at all. You may remember the metal figure dropping their bag, or the rust lizard scene towards the end of the film. There were a lot more of these character animation sequences planned for the original film, such as these two metal figures consuming each other and becoming one big organism. I thought these sequences were thematically fitting, but I didn't want to ascribe too much personhood to these objects myself. I wanted the viewer to think critically about the history and the journey of these objects and who may have owned them, rather than me projecting an idea onto them. So let's talk shooting. Most of the scenes are shot on your average down shooter with Dragon Frame with a light table, such as this station in the Master Animation Studios. And all the live action sequences were shot in my basement with very particular lighting, mostly involving me standing on a ladder and pouring coins or scraps of metal until I hit the right spot of the frame. The one outlier scene of all these is the metal detecting time lapse. I got this effect by literally duct taping my camera to my metal detector, setting a time lapse with a high shutter speed, and just going crazy in my backyard, which really achieved this streaky and sporadic effect that I was going for. Everything else was shot in the VFX room of MassArt, which I will show off now. So this is the VFX room. This is where I shot all of my camera moves for my film. The very technical shots for my film were all done on this awesome equipment that we have here at the studio. So this is the first piece of equipment. This is the Volo. It's our first motion camera. As you can see, it's got an arm here that can move up and down and swing left to right, and moves up and down on this track. So there's a very large set of motions it can make, and it's all programmed on Dragon Frame, which is this program right here, the industry standard animation program. I would do a camera move, but as you can see, we have a very intricate set made by my classmates, so we're not going to do that. So we're going to move on to the multiplane. All right, so this is the multiplane. You may have seen similar setups from Disney or other traditional animation studios. It's just a camera pointing down at multiple layers of glass, and you can lay drawings or objects of different layers. I use this to get different levels of focus or a panning effect on certain shots. This includes the
starting pan at the start of the film and the rings of objects that focus up. Yeah, it's really awesome. Another amazing piece of equipment I got to use. So yeah, let's look at the technical aspects. Okay, so I have this programmed move here for the multiplane, which this window works exactly the same for the Volo, just a little more simple. This track can only move left and right. So the camera up there is on a track that can pan left to right. It can focus, zoom in and out. So I used it a lot for the panning shots or the variable focus shots. I have this camera move that I use for another one of the shots. So I'll show you. If I move back to the start of the frame, you'll see the camera starts moving. Yeah, so the benefit of this is that you can program a move, get your scene set, and then you can start animating frame by frame, and the camera will incrementally move to where it's supposed to be for each frame for you. So it just completely eliminates the camera operation part of the animation for you, which is really great because lets you focus on other aspects like animation or lighting and that sort of thing. So it's another really awesome tool that I got the privilege to use. So yeah, really awesome. Thanks so much for watching. I hope a peek into the process was insightful or interesting. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below or contact me through my website, where I will have more behind the scenes pictures and a close look at the boards if you're interested in that. You can also follow my art account on Instagram or my metal detecting account if that's an aspect of the film you were interested in. And thanks again to Matmos and Thrill Jockey Records for giving me this amazing opportunity to work on this film. Please watch the music video on their YouTube page, Thrill Jockey Records, or their website. And be sure to listen to the full album when it releases. Metallic Life Review, releasing on June 20th. Thanks so much.